Today, I'm going to talk a little bit about my research topic. My research topic is some of my research questions that I have for my research topic. I'm going to talk about what I learned this semester and the rest of my time at Texas A&M within the research track. First, I'm going to start with my research topic, different play styles in college basketball, whether or not that translate to success in the regular season, postseason. So some questions I have are: what statistics indicate postseason success in the NCAA tournament? How does a team's primary offensive style correlate with its offensive efficiency and overall win-loss record in NCAA Division I basketball? So if you're playing fast, if you're playing slow, does that translate to you how efficient you are and how successful you are in the regular season? To what extent does a strong emphasis on defensive play influence the final outcome of close college basketball games compared to offensive strategies? So if you're pressing, if you're pressing on defense, playing man to man, or playing zone, how does that influence the final outcome of basketball games more than offensive strategies? Some other questions I have: what specific game-related statistics are most significant determinants of success for teams employing a high tempo versus deliberate low possession play style? Another question I have: in what ways has the increased emphasis on three-point shooting in modern college basketball affected the approaches and defensive schemes employed by top-tier programs? So basically, how do teams how has defense changed over the years? How has availability of advanced analytics changed the game, and has that affected the way coaches strategize? And then what are the key regional differences in how uh, different conferences play? What's the difference in the brand of basketball in the ACC compared to the SEC? And does a certain way a conference plays translate to success in the NCAA tournament? Now I'm going to talk a little bit about what I've learned this semester. I've learned about the different types of research, um, quantitative research, qualitative research, descriptive research, all that stuff, applied research. Learned a lot about that. Stuff I didn't know before, available resources that I have in Launch, University Writing Center, uh, Iris, Dr. Zimmer, Purdue OWL with APA, Google Scholar, and YouTube. Those are all useful resources I have that can help me in my research. Uh, Writing an annotated bibliography first. I had to learn what a bibliography really was. I've heard of it, never knew what it was. Uh, so basically, learned that it was a list of citations followed by a brief paragraph that summarizes and evaluates each source's relevance and accuracy and quality. So, yeah, I was able to learn that throughout the semester, get a better grasp of what that is and how to write one. Another thing, performing a lit review, and then quantitative versus qualitative data. I knew that before, but I was able to get a better understanding of what that entails. So my path, the research track for the rest of the time I'm at Texas A&M, I take sport management 401 in the spring, and get that out of the way in the spring. And then in the fall, I'm going to take my only elective, sports data analytics, with my first few hours of research, sport management 445. And then in the spring, I'm going to finish that up. I thought it'd be better to separate it instead of just cramming it all in one semester. I feel like I can get better quality work spread out through 2 semesters. So yeah, that's my research topic. That's my presentation, my research topic, my research questions, what I've learned in my path, the rest of my path at Texas A&M. Thank you.